The following is a guide to the basic fundamentals of SkyBlock. Hope you enjoy. SkyBlock, a very interesting concept for a game. In normal SkyBlock, you have a small island that you work your way to build out. In Hypixel, it is just about the same, but there is a different spin on it. There are unique systems in this game, in Hypixels, that really add to what there is in the game. You can do a whole lot of stuff. You can farm anything, really. You can also hunt pretty much anything. But that's not what I'm going to get into today. Actually, I guess it is. But today, we're going to get into the basic fundamentals. Mining. Now, mining is really easy. It's very simple. All you do is mine blocks. You gotta mine coal, gotta mine cobble. All you need to do is just get to level 2. Just get to level 1. Once you get to level 1, you then get to access to the gold mines. Now the gold mines is where you can start to actually, make a profit here. Because at the gold mines you can sell the iron or you can smelt the iron and use it for better tools. And when you use it for better tools, well, you can start to mine faster. The faster you mine, the more you make. It's a pretty straightforward, pretty simple concept. Not really sure what else to follow here. So, in my personal opinion, I prefer mining. This is how I've been making my profits lately. Mining is a great way, in my opinion, to get started. Now, farming is the root of the game. Basically, you just farm. There's a whole lot of plants to farm and to choose from. Different ones are can be compacted into different things. Like potatoes, for example, you can compact into hot potato books eventually, which actually sell for a decent price on the auction house. But, in my opinion, it's mineral farming. Mineral farming is what's better, because you just make more out of it. Make more money, you don't have to compact it as much. So yeah, but farming is much more recommended that you use you use like a hoe or something, because it actually can increase the amount you get, at least through SkyBlock physics. There are enchantments, of course, you can get. I'll get into enchantments in another video. But yeah, that's really the whole point of farming. Now, foraging. Foraging is an interesting path to go down, to say the least. So, when it comes to the foraging, you have to pick an axe, because foraging is basically cutting down trees. There are many axes to choose from, but I would choose the Promising Axe, mainly because the Promising Axe actually upgrades the more you use it, which is actually really, really helpful when you're starting out. So, once you bought your Promising Axe, I would probably recommend, cutting down the trees that are literally right there. It's a pretty simple task to do, pretty straightforward. That's pretty much all there is. The more, of course, you mine, like I said, the more it upgrades. And the more it upgrades, the faster it goes, the quicker you gain stuff from it. And eventually you'll get access to more trees. When it comes to any trees, I would highly recommend the jungle trees. Jungle trees can get you access to a really, really good axe later on, called the jungle axe. It is also really cheap on the auction house, so you could also just get it if you get about 4,000 to 5,000. That's pretty much all for foraging. Now, combat. Combat is an interesting way to get money. It is fast, it is difficult, and depending on the difficulty of the monsters, that is also a huge thing. Usually when you start out, you can only take about up to level, I think, 10 is where things are at least somewhat easy, but I could be wrong on this. Now when it comes to getting levels out of combat, the starter zombies at the graveyard are a great place to go. Easy XP, easy levels should get you probably up to level 5 in a day or less. But it's in the mines where you actually make a decent buck off of them. If you can do enough damage, I highly recommend enchanting your swords, obviously, for this one. You can deal a decent amount of damage, and you have a rare chance at getting minor gear. Minor gear sells for a really good amount this early game. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for combat gear and combat stuff, so let's get to the next. Financial system in this game. Now, the problem with, accumulating all this stuff in your purse, if you die, you lose 50% until, you reach a certain point. And to avoid this, there's a lot of good ways to avoid this, and that is 1, don't die. And number 2 is, if you accumulate a lot of it, especially through leveling up or killing stuff, put it in the bank, or else you will lose a lot. I'm kind of guilty of losing a lot here. I have lost, I think, the absolute most, about 4,000 once. Was not good. It was absolutely an awful feeling. And it was even worse because it was on my private island. But anyway, yeah. Whenever you can, stop by the bank and deposit at your whole wallet. Just deposit your whole thing. That way, you don't risk losing everything, and you actually accumulate it over time, because you can easily withdraw it at any point. And there is interest so the more you have, the more you'll make over time. So, that being said, that's pretty much all you need to know about the financial system in this game. Now, the last part on this one is island building. Island building is very important, because you don't want to keep having just one island. It will not be enough. So, really, the whole point of the game is that the more you continue, the more you mine, so the more you farm, the more blocks and money you can get. The more blocks you get, the more you can build out your island. There are also some things out there called I just call them island extensions, because really, you're literally just placing a whole nother island 15 blocks away from where you just placed it. So, I like to use those. My main account has a bunch of those, but yeah, island building it's not too hard. Just expand, make bridges, and eventually once you get more stuff and better at building, you can eventually flatten out everything. And that's pretty much all there is for the absolute basics of this game, and all you really need to know when getting started in this game. I will be doing more videos going in depth on, all the fundamental stuff here. Till then, that's all.